of it. We will. We're going to be stronger. Plus, I'm pregnant, so she's happy about that. And she's going to help me every step of the way. I know.
She's a good mom.
Great mom. She's a great mom.
Just we could get a better relationship and just go from here.
Come here, Mom. We love her. She's awesome.
Right now at 5, new details on a crash that sent a pickup truck into the Russian River with a mother and her 2 children inside. The mother's desperate attempts to save her daughters.
But first, breaking news from San Francisco's financial district. A taxi cab loses control, runs up onto the sidewalk. No warning, and for some people, nowhere to run. I'm Alan Martin in for Ken Bastida.
And I'm Elizabeth Cook. 3 people suffered life-threatening injuries when that taxi cab jumped the curb. And right now, the area where Market Street meets Sansom and Sutter is shut down. KPIX 5's Andrea Borba is live at the scene. Now, Andrea, that area is usually very crowded.
You're right, Liz. It is very crowded, particularly during commute time. Take a look behind me. The scene hours later still very active. You can see all the airbags deployed inside of that taxi cab. It happened this afternoon around 3:30 in the afternoon. Now, the cab plowed into a City of San Francisco advertising kiosk, a light pole, and a shoe shine stand and a newsstand. 3 people are critically injured because of the crash. They are at San Francisco General Hospital right now. 2 pedestrians as well as the cab driver himself. The sound of the metal smashing together ricocheted throughout the financial district, bringing crowds out to see what had happened.
It's pretty scary. I mean, with these corners so crowded with people downtown, I mean, so many people could be there at any given time. This is pretty scary to see.
Now, you can take a look behind me right now. Market Street is still closed in the westbound directions, but we happen to have dispatch tapes of what emergency crews heard in the moments after this crash happened.
The taxi possibly went in the curb next to the bus area, hit 2 pedestrians. We're getting several calls on this. One of these public toilets is completely down and there's a large crowd, so if there's additional central units who can respond to assist support.
Now, the crowd here at Sutter and Sansom very busy right now because there are multiple Muni stops here as well as a BART station about a block away right now. Multiple Muni lines have been rerouted because they can't get through this area and can't get onto Market Street, which is still closed, westbound between Battery and Montgomery. Live in downtown San Francisco, Andrea Borba, KPIX 5.
Another bad accident, this one in the North Bay. A woman desperately tries to save her 2 young daughters when their pickup truck plunged into the Russian River. Happened on Highway 1 just south of Jenner. KPIX 5's Jessica Flores tells us it was foggy as the girls' mother drove them to school this morning.
CHP says the car was driving down Highway 1 here in Jenner when it veered off the road and plunged down into the Russian River below. The waters appeared calm, but down deep below, a horrifying scene. 2 young girls trapped inside a truck. Their mother managed to swim out. Witnesses say it all happened in a matter of moments.
Before I could recognize whether there's even a car or a truck, it went gurgle, 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 and went down, and a big bunch of bubbles came up to the surface. And then a woman came up shortly after that screaming, my babies, or something like that. I mean, it was hard to hear from up there.
CHP says the 2 girls, just 4 and 7 years old, died after the truck plunged into the Russian River. Medics treated the 32-year-old mother at the scene. Crews in Jenner pulled the 2009 Ford truck from the river. Records show it's registered to Joshua and Sarah Marcus. Law enforcement have not released the names of the children killed in the crash.
Heavy fog and very heavy mist made all the roadways out there slick.
Investigators say Highway 1 this morning was foggy and slick. The mother reportedly was taking the children to school. CHP says the mother was uninjured in the incident. Reporting in Jenner, I'm Jessica Flores, KPIX 5.
Jessica tells us when divers got to the scene, it took them 30 minutes to reach the family in the truck.
A woman left paralyzed by a falling tree branch in San Francisco is demanding answers from city leaders. Today, Mayor Ed Lee visited her in the hospital for the first time since that accident. KPIX 5's Joe Vasquez on the help the mayor is offering and why it won't change the family's plan to take legal action.
The meeting was private. Reporters were kept out as Mayor Ed Lee visited the tree branch victim and her husband at Laguna Honda Hospital. The couple now goes by the anglicized names Emma and Tony. They say the mayor offered to do everything he could.
yeah, it's kind of relief a little bit. Hopefully, yeah, he can help me.
It's been 10 days since a large branch fell directly on top of Emma's head while she was watching her kids play at Washington Square Park. Her spine was broken, her skull cracked. She told me from her hospital bed on Sunday it still hurts a lot.
I can't move. I just lay down on the bed,
I'm all today about making sure that Emma recovers, and she's in pretty good spirits, although I'm sure it's painful for her.
The mayor says he offered to help the family resettle their 2 daughters in the San Francisco school district so they can be closer to Emma. He says he'll call Tony's boss to make sure he can keep taking time off. And the mayor says he's also encouraging people to donate to a GoFundMe account set up by a family member.
I know the Commissioner Buell and Commissioner Lowe, they've contacted me this morning and said, I want to be part of this family's recovery.
Still, Tony says it's going to take years of expensive recovery and rehab, so he will likely sue.
So probably get a lawyer, see if they can, help me to, get, some little money for.
You still might do that.
Yeah, probably will do that, yeah.
Children continue to play in the playground here at Washington Square. The mayor insists that the city has inspected the trees and that they no longer pose a threat to the public. In San Francisco, Joe Vasquez, KPIX 5.
BART is left with a big repair bill after someone went wild swinging a golf club, breaking windows at the West Oakland station. A BART spokesperson took this photo of the damage this afternoon. We're told the person also swung the golf club at a train, causing that train to be held for about 30 minutes. Here's another shot of those damages. No reports of any injuries. The man with the wild swing was taken into custody.
An armed robber targets 2 San Francisco tourists in a popular spot. The victims were taking photos at Twin Peaks just after 10 last night. It's when a man walked up with a gun and threatened to shoot them. The robber took off with the tourist backpack. Inside, it had 2 tablets, a hard drive, and a camera. Police say no arrests have been made in the case.
The party is over at Stanford University. The school announced a new ban on hard liquor in an effort to curb undergraduate drinking. KPIX 5 reporter Devin Feely is live at Stanford. And Devin, there are questions about whether this ban could actually backfire.
Yeah, there are some people that are questioning the effectiveness of the potential ban. Now, make no mistake, all of this happens against the much larger backdrop of the controversy and questions surrounding the conviction and sentencing of former Stanford swimmer Brock Turner. But there seems to be a consensus amongst university leaders that something had to be done to change a campus culture of drinking and sexual assault.
The university says the ban on hard alcohol at undergraduate campus parties is aimed at curbing binge drinking and the problematic behaviors that often accompany it. But even students who welcome a change in the campus culture of drinking wonder if too much is being blamed on the alcohol itself.
We have to be careful to not take the emphasis off of personal responsibility and to not say that having drunk alcohol diminishes the responsibility of people who do terrible things while they're drunk.
The policy change comes close on the heels of the controversy surrounding the conviction and sentencing of former Stanford swimmer Brock Turner for sexually assaulting a woman who'd gotten blackout drunk at a campus party. Law professor Michelle Dobner, who's been highly critical of Turner's sentence, isn't sure that the ban will actually make the campus any safer.
However well-intentioned this may have been, we're not going to stop students from consuming hard alcohol. What we can do, though, is increase the riskiness of the situation in which they do that consumption.
Graduate students will still be able to enjoy a mixed drink, but shots are against the rules for both groups.
I always find it a bad reason to not ban something because you think you cannot practically ban it anyway. We would never do that with robbery or murder.
Now, this ban is likely to be fairly unpopular with students. In the spring, in a campus-wide referendum, students voted overwhelmingly, more than 90% against a ban on hard alcohol. At Stanford, Devin Feely, KPIX 5.
The judge under fire for a lenient sentence for ex-Stanford swimmer Brock Turner is back in the news. This time, he has recused himself from another sex case. According to the Mercury News, Judge Aaron Persky says he will not rule on a case involving a plumber charged with possession of child pornography. In a statement, Persky says some might doubt his ability to judge fairly on the case.
Turnstile jumping and sneaking onto the bus without paying will no longer be a crime for California youth. Governor Jerry Brown signed a bill that prohibits people under the age of 18 from being criminally charged for not paying transit fares. Instead, they'll face fines and penalties. This is to prevent juveniles from entering the criminal justice system just because they can't afford bus or train fare. That law goes into effect next year.
The president today got a firsthand look at the devastation caused by historic flooding in Louisiana. As reporter Manuel Bajorquez tells us, the president dismissed critics who say that he got to the disaster too late.
The prayers of the entire nation are with everybody who lost loved ones.
The president toured East Baton Rouge Parish, one of the hardest hit communities. Floodwaters destroyed or damaged about 60,000 homes.
People's lives have been upended by this flood. Local businesses have suffered some terrible damage. Families have, in some cases, lost homes.
The water in this house came up to the owner's shoulders. Repair crews gutted the home, tearing out flood-damaged wood and the soaked carpet and tossing it all on his lawn.
Your whole world is gone. I mean, all the clothes, all the bed stuff, all the baby things, everything's gone. It's like, okay, God has a reason for us, and we're going to listen to what he says. We're just going to follow him. He will provide for us.
More than 106,000 people have registered for emergency federal aid. 80% of people in Louisiana do not have flood insurance. The president says the government is beginning to distribute $127 million in federal disaster relief to those who've had to flee their homes.
I need all Americans to stay focused on this. If you're watching this today, make sure that you find out how you can help. You can go to volunteerslouisiana.gov.
President Obama's visit follows one by Donald Trump on Friday. The Republican nominee criticized the president for not cutting short his 2-week vacation on Martha's Vineyard. Today, Trump tweeted the visit by the president was too little, too late. Manuel Bajorquez, CBS News, Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
On to campaign 2016, a federal judge's ruling ensures Hillary Clinton will be answering questions about her emails until Election Day. Reporter Weijia Zhang explains.
Hillary Clinton went to Justin Timberlake's Santa Monica home. It's part of a star-studded California fundraising trip that included an appearance on Jimmy Kimmel Live.
I do feel sometimes like this campaign has entered into an alternative universe.
Clinton talked about debating Donald Trump, her health, and the latest twist in her email controversy. The State Department is reviewing nearly 15,000 previously undisclosed messages the FBI uncovered during its investigation.
My emails are so boring.
Yeah,
and I mean, I'm embarrassed about that. They're so boring. And so we've already released, I don't know, 30,000 plus, so what's a few more?
But Trump isn't laughing. He wants a new look into Clinton's email server and the access Clinton Foundation donors got to her while she was Secretary of State.
Require an expedited investigation by a special prosecutor immediately.
Speaking to a mostly white audience, Trump said Democrats have let down minorities.
To the African Americans, who I employ so many people, to the Hispanics, tremendous people. What the hell do you have to lose? Give me a chance.
Trump is no longer talking about deporting all undocumented immigrants living in the U.S., but he insists his plan to build a wall isn't going anywhere. Weijia Zhang, CBS News, the White House.
And Trump is fundraising in Texas today, and Hillary Clinton is in the Bay Area tomorrow for several fundraisers. Apple CEO Tim Cook will host one event.
Well, new Zika cases are popping up in Florida, but not in the identified hot zones. Coming up, where the latest infections were discovered and what Florida leaders are doing now to fight the spread of the disease.
Plus, today is known as Cheap Flight Day, but are the prices living up to the hype? A travel agent weighs in.
Ooh, tell me when to go. Tell me when to go. Tell me when to go.
Oh yeah, and a Bay Area rapper who rose to fame, not forgetting his roots, how E40 is giving back to one of the places where he got his start.
And Friday night, get ready for some football. The 49ers host the Packers at Levi's Stadium. Catch all the action right here on KPIX 5 beginning at 7 o'clock. The Zika virus is creeping up the coast of Florida. Today, 5 new cases were discovered, including one in Tampa Bay. According to the CDC, these new cases were contracted inside the U.S. For weeks, the Zika virus was discovered in a concentrated cluster in Miami-Dade County, and now other counties are involved. But today, at a roundtable discussion, Governor Rick Scott seemed unfazed by the new cases.
Just because we have one case here doesn't mean we have local transmission. The next step is the Department of Health working with the local Department of Health working with mosquito control efforts. They will start doing aggressive mosquito control, and they'll be doing aggressive testing to find out if we have local transmission.
So far, 42 people have been infected in Florida.
San Mateo-based Solar City is making cuts as it prepares for a Tesla takeover. In October, the company says it will lay off 80 employees from its office headquarters, as well as another 28 workers from its San Francisco facility. Despite growing sales, it comes after Solar City fell short of expectations last quarter with a net loss of $55 million. Tesla is buying that company for more than $2 billion.
It may soon be cheaper to listen to music on Amazon than Apple or Spotify. The company is planning to launch a cheaper subscription to its music streaming service. According to a report by Recode, customers would only have to pay $4 to $5 a month if they own the Echo speaker. Customers who don't own the speaker can stream unlimited songs for $10 a month.
I'm from the Bay where we hyphy and go duck from the soil where them rappers be getting they lingo from.
You streaming him? Earl Stevens, better known as E40, grew up in Vallejo before rising to stardom for his music. The rapper frequently references growing up in the Bay Area in his songs. Well, today, he really went down memory lane, heading to Franklin Middle School where he once made the honor roll. KPIX 5's Jackie Ward shows us he wanted to give back to the school that helped him.
Vallejo, he's proud of Vallejo, and he gives back to Vallejo.
700 of these backpacks are filled with critical school supplies, and a special note from E40 himself.
I'm speechless. That's right. How many people actually come back to the community? This is what he's done. He's not only come back to Franklin, he's come back to Vallejo.
This is the 3rd year Franklin Middle School has given out backpacks to each of their students, thanks to community donations and grants. This year, when the school was trying to find a sponsor for the backpacks, E40 stepped up and donated $25,000 for JanSport bags. Every one of them has a lifetime guarantee.
I made the honor roll in 8th grade. I was hecka happy. I'm just sitting up here reminiscing now, looking at the whole facility, the environment. It's a beautiful thing, though.
And even though these kids weren't born during his musical prime, they all know who this local hero is.
It's just like crazy, like a famous person is actually coming. When I heard, I was like, oh my God. It's just like a dream come true.
It's pretty cool that E40 is doing this for us.
Parents don't have the money to buy all the supplies that they need, for their children. And so that's one of the burdens we take away from them. We buy them supplies.
His message was the same one that helped him out when he was younger.
Just stay in school, stay positive, stay out of trouble, and stay prayed up.
So that one day, famous or not, these kids can give back to Franklin and Vallejo too. E40 has always been a very active alum of Franklin Middle School, and he's also giving them money for a music studio set to open this school year. In Vallejo, Jackie Ward, KPIX 5.
Okay, so E40 gave enough money to not only cover the cost of supplies for the beginning of the year, but for the entire school year. Pretty special day for them, but for the rest of us, probably seems like a regular Tuesday.
But according to some in the travel industry, today is Cheap Flight Day. Yeah. It's being billed as a special day to save on airfare. Bay Area-based airline analyst Henry Hartevelt says it's only sort of special.
It's a marketing ploy by a website to try to get some publicity.
But Hartevelt says today, August 23rd, is traditionally the day airlines release their fall fares. Fares that are generally 10 to 20% lower than they were during the peak summer travel season.
If you can travel during what they call the off-peak times, which includes much of September and October and early to mid-November, you can find a good deal.
Deals like $241 round trip from San Francisco to Chicago on United, $313 round trip from Oakland to New York on Spirit, and $378 round trip from San Jose to Maui on Hawaiian Airlines. But he says a slower fall travel season isn't the only factor.
There's a lot more competition from budget airlines such as Allegiant, Frontier, and Spirit.
And he says most of the best deals are on flights to big cities: New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, Houston, places where airlines fly frequently. Good news for many, including this traveler at SFO who's ready for another getaway.
Inexpensive fares is a piece of cake, and I think I might like to have some dessert.
And Hartfeld says the big exception to all this is holiday travel. Airfares typically go up, way up, around Christmas and Thanksgiving.
If you are staying in San Francisco, it has not been a warm month. The warmest the city has been the entire month of August is 70 degrees. Despite the fact we've gotten sunshine every afternoon, it's that onshore flow. Will it let up and will we warm up? The answer in your 7-day forecast.
And coming up, all new at 6 o'clock tonight, we're in the middle of the back-to-school frenzy. Why hundreds of Bay Area parents are pulling their children out of a certain school.
All right, all this talk about going back to school. Now, typically you want to wear your summer clothes, your shorts, your flip-flops, but everybody probably
Not everybody.
wears a sweater,
Not in
jeans
San
and
Francisco,
sweatshirt.
not in Sausalito, not in Tiburon. It has just been, you know, it's going to be chilly most of the time in San Francisco in the summer. Usually get a little bit of a break, couple warm days thrown in there. Not this August. And I think we're going to finish the month with that steady dose of the onshore flow and nothing warmer than 70 degrees. What is it in San Francisco right now? It's sunny, 63. Only 69 degrees in Santa Rosa, 69 in Oakland, and even the Livermore 82 and Concord 80-degree readings are below average despite the sunshine, all because of that flow from the Pacific Ocean. Still a few isolated showers in the Sierra. They are moving away from us in that low-pressure area that caused some hail around Lake Tahoe yesterday. That is moving out. KPIX 5 high-def Doppler showing dry conditions anywhere close to here. It's expected this time of year, but it's worth noting it's getting to be a big number. The last time since we've seen a decent rainfall in the Bay Area, that was May 7th, 108 days ago. The record, in case you're curious, is 194. I don't think we're going to get there, but we're going to add at least 7 to that. We're going to stay dry. Mid-50s overnight tonight. Oakland 56, San Jose 57, Concord 54, sunrise at 6:33. Let me paint the picture in the atmosphere for you. The next couple days is a ridge of high pressure, which will get us just a little bit milder over the next couple days. We don't lose the onshore flow, but sometimes it can get minimized. It'll go from a moderate onshore flow to a weak one. We're going to see that, which means about 5 degrees for you away from the water. Means absolutely nothing in San Francisco. You'll stay foggy in the morning. You'll stay sunny in the afternoon with chilly temperatures. This is what the sky will look like over the city tomorrow. Lots of morning cloud cover. Watch the blue sky begin to emerge around 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Still some cloud cover out there, but another cool-ish day in the financial district and all of San Francisco. What you can expect moving forward, low cloud cover returning tonight. About a 23rd straight night for August. Hazy sunshine once again tomorrow. Couple degrees warmer, especially away from the water, but temperatures will stay below average for each of the next 7 days because of that flow from the ocean. Concord, 86 degrees tomorrow, warmer, but still below normal. San Jose 78, Redwood City 79, Vallejo very comfortable for you. Afternoon sunshine 78 degrees. Santa Rosa, your high 78, but only 65 in San Francisco and only 60 in Pacifica. Your extended forecast, couple degrees milder Wednesday and Thursday. Then we cool off Friday through the weekend, low to mid 80s inland, not hitting 70 near the bay, and highs right around 60 degrees along the coastline with a little bit of an increase in sunshine. Next week, perhaps back to 90 degrees or above average away from the water. But all in all, staying kind of chilly because we sit next to a really chilly ocean. We'll be right back.
Actress Jennifer Lawrence can thank the Hunger Games franchise for a big bank account Lawrence tops Forbes magazine's list of the world's highest paid actresses for the second year in a row. She raked in $46 million over the past year.
It didn't even look like her. If a Texas rapper has his way, all the U.S. athletes who won a medal at the Olympics will end up with gold. Not talking about gold medals, but gold grills. Rapper Paul Wall and his business partner Julie Johnny Dang are offering free custom gold grills to Olympic athletes, complete with the color engraving of the Rio logo. A way to honor the champions, give them something nobody else has.
That's true. It's a collectible item. There you go.
Lucky almost got bracelets instead of...
Whatever happened to pins? No more pins
Oh, no,
anymore?
nobody collects pins
okay.
anymore.
All right.
See you at 6.